what's up guys? Welcome back to another Elementor library tutorial video. So in today's video we are going to be building a restaurant style landing page, okay? It looks pretty fantastic. I'm excited to get into this, and as always, once this tutorial is finished, head over to elementorlibrary.com, sign up for a free account if you have not already, and begin downloading these free goodies here on the website. This website that we built today, this landing page, is going to be available to download completely free. So let's head over here and get started. I'm going to name my page right here, restaurant landing page, and go ahead and set the template to Elementor canvas so that I'm not getting any of my theme elements inside of the page. So once we hop in here to edit with Elementor, I'm going to go ahead and drop in a header here, and I'm going to come into the section, increase the height to fit to screen. We want to make this fit to the screen full width, and I'm actually going to add another column here to the right and maybe decrease this to about, or increase this to about 60 perhaps. That looks like it's good. Okay, so since this is a restaurant, we need to have some type of restaurant copy going on. So maybe eat to your heart's content. Yum. Okay, so you'll see what I do with this in a second. It looks terrible right now, but just give me a second here and you'll see. So I'm gonna add my picture in as well, since we're at the section settings, and I've already got all my stuff, my assets added in here. So I'm gonna choose this right here, insert that, position center, size cover, and there we go. So that looks pretty good here. This is gonna be a very clean landing page, lots of white space, just because we want to accentuate the food instead of the actual content itself, right? So I'm gonna make that a light gray color, and for the typeface, maybe Oswald. I think we used this last time, but I'm just sort of in love with that typeface. It just looks really, really good. Let's increase this to 60, about 800 for the weight, and transform this to uppercase. Okay, it's looking pretty good. So this yum thing right here, what I'm gonna do is, I'm actually gonna do some span style, and we'll do color. I'm gonna grab my color that I have right here. It's a red. It's a really deep red color. It looks fantastic though. That, okay, look at that, looks good. And we'll close out that span. Okay, so we've got this right here, and this is already looking like something, right? But we'll just keep going on here. I'm gonna add a button in here at the bottom, and let me add some space as well, just to help separate these two elements. Do about 20 maybe. And what I'll do with this is reserve now, and let me add an icon right here. We'll put that after the text, increase this to about maybe 10. So what I'm gonna do here, I don't want an actual button, I would prefer it just to be text. And so what I'll do is make this some type of, well, you know what, let's do the same red that we use for this button, and we'll make the text red, okay? But what I'll do for this background is just decrease this to nothing, just completely transparent, okay? And so that only the text shows. Come in here to typography for the actual button typography settings, and Oswald, maybe. We'll just see how this looks once I've finished with my text, my typography settings. Increase that to about 28 maybe. So something important to do if we're gonna be doing this, you can see that the button padding is sort of already, it's there, it exists right now. And so this button is not flush up against this line that we have here for the column. What we'll do to fix that is just get rid of the padding, just unlink them and then link them again so that the fields are 0. Okay, so that'll fix that right there. That's looking a whole lot better already. But what I want to do is sort of just like make this even more fancy. So what I'll do is add some more span style equals, and we're gonna do a border bottom. So 5 pixels solid, and I'm actually gonna do the same red that we've used over and over here. So we'll do that. Boom. Except I don't want this whole thing to be underlined. So maybe we'll just make reserve underline. Right, so we've got some intention here. Okay, this looks like we know what we're doing. That looks really good right there, and we do know what we're doing. Okay, so that's that. Now I think this section's done here. This is just the header, and we'll just move on to this next section here. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a new section. And I think this may just be like a blurb section for food, okay? So I'm gonna come in here to the section settings, go to advanced. You guys know I love to add my margin, 80 up at the top, 80 at the bottom, okay? Lots of white spaces, really, really good. So we've got that. I'm going to add a nested column in here, and we'll make this 3, okay? Come back here into the widgets, and let's add in an image box. Increase this image to 100, and I'm actually going to get rid of this right here, and let me come in here and just grab this copy right here so that we already have the span, because I want to use this underground or this underline thing right here. Well, you know what, let's actually just grab that then. I don't want to grab the other one. Let's grab this, since it has the underline that we're gonna use in this right here. So I'm just gonna paste that right in there. Looks bad right now, but we'll fix that in a second. I'm going to go ahead and add an image here. So for this one, maybe we'll go with the soup, and let's type in SOU, but then go on the outside of the span and type in PS, okay? Now let's go ahead and style this so that it's not so bland looking. Let me see if this will work. I'm gonna try to copy and paste the style. Okay, so that didn't work, so we'll just have to manually do it instead. So come to not the title, but the description right here, and let's go ahead and add some color there. Maybe a little bit darker than that gray that we've used. And I'm not sure if I'm completely sold on the Oswald typeface for this button. So I might go with like maybe Open Sans condensed instead of just Oswald. Yeah, that works. It works because, you know, even though they're not the same typefaces, it's similar enough that it's not bad looking. So that looks pretty good, but that Oswald is a little bit too squared off for me, and I prefer something a little bit more rounded just to make it more friendly. So let's come in here. We're gonna choose Open Sans Condense for that one. Increase this to about maybe 28. We'll do 28, and once we transform this to uppercase, it'll make it a little bit bigger. Nope, let's make it 38, okay. And then increase the weight to about 800. So that's looking pretty good right there. Maybe even increase this more. I wanna do 42. I want this to be a lot bigger, okay. That looks good. I think that looks really good right there. So what we'll do is add some margin around this box right here. And I want to add some type of hover effect on the image. So let's come in here to hover on the image, and I think I'll choose maybe hang. Yeah, that looks good right there. So next I'm just going to copy this image box, paste it, and come into here, change this to, let's do maybe like a side dish for this one, and I'll do side dishes. Okay, that's that. Next we'll do salads. So let's do salps. Let's do salads. Okay, that's that. That's looking really good. And let's go ahead and just duplicate this nested column here. Let's see how this looks. The spacing looks fine there. Okay, and we'll add the images to these as well. For this one, I'm going to do, let's do these meatballs, and this will be the main dish. Actually, you know what? That's too predictable. Let's only have the MAI be underlined and the N dishes not be. Okay, that looks good right there. Come into this one, and I'll make this maybe, this juicy burger looks pretty delicious. We'll do that one. Let's do burgers. Okay, and this last one, restaurant is not complete unless they have dessert. So we'll do desserts. DESSERTS. Okay, And yeah, so let's go ahead and update that really quick so we can save these changes. This is looking really, really good. I'm very happy with this so far. Let's keep moving on, guys. So this next section right here, we've got a lot of white space going on, which is fine. That's my intent with this, is to create a lot of white space, like I said earlier, just so that the emphasis is on the food rather than the actual site itself, right? The site should almost be invisible because the food should just pop out so much. However, with the current trend, I think that we need some type of separation, like some type of break from all the white space. So what I'll do is add a section, and this section is maybe gonna be our, let's like an email opt-in type of section. And we will use this one right here. It's perfect. So we'll add that in there. Center the position, cover for size, and I'm gonna add 80 padding at the top and bottom, just so that the words aren't flush against the edge, but that they have some breathing room. And let's come back up here to the top. I'm gonna copy this and just paste it right into here, and we'll fix these the color settings and stuff in a second. Maybe they sign up for a recipe, so maybe get recipes straight to your, and this will be inbox, okay? And let's maybe decrease the content width to about 800. Let's do 700. So let's do 600. Yeah, I wanted that 2 to drop, to break below. So that's that. I'm going to actually change the text here to white. That looks a whole lot better. But you can kind of see that the text is a little bit hard to see now. There's 2 ways that you can rectify this problem. The first way is to add a text shadow to the text, and you can see here the before and after. So that's before the text shadow, that's after the text shadow. So you can do that, or you can just add a background overlay to the section. That's what I prefer to do in most cases. And I like to do like a lighter gray color, and we'll decrease the opacity to about maybe 15. So that's much better. You can see the text, and it just looks a whole lot more consistent. Okay, that's that. Now what I'll do next is, let me see, come back up here to the top. Well, we don't really have what I'm looking for up here in this content, so I can't copy and paste. So I'll just go ahead and add a new text box here, and we'll do the word subscribe. Center this right here, make it white, and come in here to the typography. Let's change this to Oswald. No, not Oswald. Let's do Open Sans condensed. So for this landing page, the only time that we're using Oswald is on the actual the section headers, like the main headers. Okay, and let's change this to about maybe 18. Let's put the weight to 600. Transform uppercase. Letter spacing about 30. And that looks about right there. That looks good. Okay, we're not finished though with this section, so I want to go ahead and add an actual form so that they can subscribe to this newsletter. Okay, so if you don't have Elementor Pro, what you can do is just download any free, and there's plenty of them out there, just download any free form widget or some type of like email opt-in widget, and you can, we'll make those large right here, and we'll make the button large as well. But yeah, there's plenty of free ones to download. You know, just pick the one that works best for you, and stylize it to fit your needs for that specific landing page or your specific site. You know, in the future I might do a tutorial video on how to stylize those forms, but that'll be in the future sometime. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and style this so that it matches the rest of this landing page. We'll make this button nice and big, we'll make it red, change the typeface to Open Sans condensed, and change that to about maybe 24, and uppercase this. So I'm gonna change the actual button text to something more fun. Send is too basic, maybe like give me the recipes, boom, okay? And I wanna add a fun little icon. We'll do the envelope right here, and we'll add that in after. Let's do about 20 maybe. Wow, that looks really good right there. I'm loving this. Okay, come back into the form, and what I wanna do is, instead of making it like this white background. It's kind of just like harsh looking. I'm not sure if I'm sold on it, but what I'll do instead is get rid of the border first of all. So that looks pretty good. Let me get rid of these labels here. We've got the email, the name, and let's make the actual field text like black so that we can see it better. And we'll change that to open sans condensed as well. Let's do uppercase and 800. Boom, that's looking beautiful. I'm gonna add some space in between here, just a little bit of space, about like 10 maybe. Look at that, guys. This is looking really good. Okay, I'm loving this right here. So what I'll do next is maybe add a little bit of row gap, just a little bit, and we'll do the same for the column gap as well. We'll match that at about 15. Wow, that's so good looking. Now, the only thing that we're missing is some fine print, okay? So let's add some fine print underneath here. I'm gonna grab some lorem ipsum right there and just add that straight in here like that. Let's style this so that it actually matches, or that it actually looks like real fine print. You know, it's like really small, it's hard to read. So let's get rid of that letter spacing, make it about 14 pixels in size, and I'm actually gonna transform it back to default. There we go, that looks a lot better right there. So it's nice and small, except it's missing some space though. So let's separate it a little bit from the rest of the elements by adding a spacer. Let's do about maybe 30. It's too much, maybe about 20. Let's do 10. Yep, that looks good right there. Okay, so this section is complete and this looks really good. It helps to separate all this white space. We got this nice break here and it's just a beautiful looking section, okay? So let's move on here. This next section I'm gonna add is gonna be some type of menu. So in theory, I think, you know, an easy way to do this would be to use some type of pro widget. So maybe like the pricing list or something would be easy, but we're not gonna do that because I want to build it so that it works for you guys who don't have Elementor Pro, okay? So let's increase the left column to about 70. And what I'll do is copy one of these image boxes up here. We'll paste that below. Let's make this image left aligned, and let's see, get rid of that animation. We don't want the animation for this one. So come in here to the image. I've got my assets loaded in already like I mentioned earlier, so I'm just gonna start popping this in. We'll decrease the width of this to about maybe 40. Okay, that looks good. And let's see, I'm gonna increase the space here to about maybe 30. Right there. Okay, perfect. Now, for this one, we actually do want to use some text down here, and so we'll have to flop these two so that the actual header here is right here in the top. So what I'm gonna do is add, let's just go ahead and put the name in here. So this is a deviled eggs. I think that's how you spell deviled. So let's come into the content and go to title here, and I'm actually just gonna make the color the same as what the description color is, and we'll copy the actual typography settings as well. So 42, 800 uppercase, open sans condensed, okay? So open sans condensed, 42, 800 uppercase, boom, beautiful. Except I'm not gonna make this 42, I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller. Maybe let's do 32 instead. Yeah, and come in here, let's get rid of this. Let's do, for the ingredients, deviled eggs, and I'm not gonna keep it like this, guys, don't freak out, okay? I know it looks bad, but we'll fix that in a second. What else is in here? Olives, I think I see some olives there, so let's do olives. I don't know, I'm not a food person, I don't know what this, I see some berries, maybe. Let's just start making stuff up. Let's do black olives and passion fruit. I think that's passion fruit right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. Anyways, so let's come in here to style, go back to content. We're gonna style this description here so that it looks a whole lot better. Let's decrease the size way down to about 800. Let's transform this to default. And the weight, let's maybe do 500. Oh, that's way too skinny. Okay, so there really is no good in between, so I'm actually gonna I'm gonna switch this to just regular open sans so that we can have a better weight there. And let's maybe even decrease the size even more. And let's change the color to something a little bit lighter just so that there's more contrast between these two elements. So let's go about right there perhaps. Okay, and what I'll do also is come into this image box and vertical line the text to be center. See, that looks really good. Okay, we're not finished though. So come in here to the column, get rid of that padding so that it's flush up against the edge. And let's come into this nested section. So I just realized I did something incorrect here, guys, so bear with me. I'm gonna actually add a nested column into the main section here. Get rid of this, change this to 70-30, and we're just gonna pop this right into here, and you'll see why in a second. Okay, so let's go back into there, get rid of that padding in this nested column, and then add some border box shadow on the actual nested section. Okay, let's bring this way down. We don't want that border or that box shadow to be too dark, just subtle enough that it's there, right? Like, you don't really want to notice it, but you want it to be there though, if that makes any sense at all. There's still some space right here. I think that might be coming from the section, so let's maybe decrease the padding on the section. No, that didn't do it. What else could it be? Oh, you know what? I know what it is. It's the actual image box margin. That's what it is. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Beautiful. Now I'm gonna come back into this and undo those changes that I made just so that doesn't affect anything else in the future. The margin, boom. Okay, so we'll leave the padding at 0 though, okay? Now let me come in here really quick and I'll just grab this, paste this right in here. You'll see what I'm doing in a second. We'll make this maybe $9. Change this to red. Okay, so this is gonna be the price here. Let's go into this right column, change the content position to middle, and let's maybe decrease the size of this to, let's do like 20. Oh, that's way too small. Let's bump this up to about perhaps 32. We'll do 32, the same size as the actual, the main entree title. So that looks good right there. I think I'm pretty satisfied with that. That looks pretty good. Maybe even decrease this a little more to about 75 by 25. Fantastic, that looks really good, guys. So what we'll do now is go ahead and go back into this section. I'm gonna add 20 margin at the top and bottom. You'll see why in a second. Let's duplicate this, boom. So now we've got the margin already there. We'll duplicate that 3 more times so that we have 4. And let's just start popping this food right in here. These different images of the delicious food. Boom, we got a delicious Belgian waffle here. So let's start naming this stuff. I think this is salmon here. So salmon. I think I see some spinach in there. And what else? I don't know what all this stuff is. I see lemons, so let's add lemons, okay. And we'll price this a little bit higher since it's more of a special entree, maybe like 18. Let's do $19. Come in here. This is, I don't know what this is right here, but we'll just call it blueberry pie. I know that's probably not what it is, so if you're a foodie, don't complain at me. So blueberry, boom, strawberry. I see some strawberries in there. Not really, but it might have it in there somewhere. Let's just do grapes, yogurt, and perhaps graham crackers. Now, I'm just making stuff up here, okay? And this is, I'm pretty sure this is a Belgian waffle, so we'll call it Belgian waffle. And waffle, of course, strawberry, whipped cream, and blueberry. And let's change the price of these right here. The pie would be about maybe $9 as well. Belgian waffle would be a little bit more expensive, coming in at about $12, okay? Update this. Man, this is looking fantastic, guys. I'm absolutely loving this right here. This is beautiful. Now, of course, once you download this landing page, you can just duplicate these if you want, and it'll work just fine. Okay, everything's gonna be mobile optimized and just beautifully responsive. All right, so let's move on to this last section here, which is maybe just gonna be like a reservation contact form of some type. So come into the section, add your margin, and let me come back to the top and copy this main title text, paste it right in there, and let's change this copy to reserve your yum. Let's do seat instead. Beautiful. Reserve your seat. Okay, so come back into your widgets, add another form in here, and first let me add some space, otherwise this is gonna drive me crazy. We'll do about 20 and decrease this to about 700, the actual content width itself, the container. Okay, so let's go ahead and style this form so that it doesn't look horrific like it does right now. Come into the style and maybe field, add 0 border radius, and let's do 0 for the border width as well, but come here, unlink those two and change the bottom to 2, okay? Change the border color to something a lot more light. We'll do CCC, and the background, let's just go ahead and put that to transparent just in case. Let's do Oswald. No, let's do Open Sans Condense for that. Let's do 18. Weight 800, transform uppercase, all the same settings that we've been using throughout this whole thing. Just keep it consistent, guys. You don't want to start changing typefaces and stuff halfway through your design. So now that we've got it partially stylized, I'm gonna do something special with this button, so we'll leave it like that for now. But let's come in here to content and let's see, start adding our fields. I guess what I'll do is just delete those, change this to about 50%, and let's duplicate this several times. Boom, 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 and maybe this last one here will make full width like that. Okay, so here we go. Now the first one's gonna be name. Well, hold on, let me get rid of this label first. We got rid of the label, so let's do name for the first one. That's fine. The second one, let's do phone. Change this to number and min value, max value 1010. This next one will be maybe I don't know, let's do date, like the date of the reservation. Change this to, they should have a date here. Yep, date. Okay, perfect. Next one, let's do time. We'll leave that as text. This one we'll do maybe party size or number of people, like that. Leave this, we'll change that to number, and let's make this full width here at 100%. This last one, let's change that to a text area and do like special requests. Beautiful. All right, so this is not done yet. As you can see, it still needs some work. So the first thing that we're gonna do is come into the submit button and change the copy. Let's do like confirm reservation. And I'm gonna add a lock icon to the right side of it, like that. Oh, that looks good. Okay, so let's come back into style, go into your button, change the background to transparent, and let me come get this color right here because we're gonna make this text on the button red, and you'll see what I'm doing here in a second. It's gonna look really, really good. Okay, so we got that. Change the actual typography settings to Open Sans Condensed. We want to stay consistent with these buttons right here. And we'll do 24, I think is what I used last time. Weight 800, uppercase, beautiful. Now, what I'm gonna do instead, I'm realizing that this would look better, I think, if we followed this style, right? This underline thing that we have going on. So what I'll do is copy this, change the button color to like a grayer, like the same gray that we've been using. Something like this. And then let's go back into content here, go into the button field, like the name field, and let's do this. confirm, except I don't want the M to have a space. That's too predictable. We'll do like that. See, look at that, that's beautiful. Wow, this is looking really, really good, guys. So I think the last thing that I'll do with this form though is increase the row gap significantly. So let's go to about 30, increase the columns gap as well to about 20, just to give this some more space. Let's do 25, oops. Beautiful, okay. That's looking fantastic. And maybe just as like a bonus, let me add something else down here, like a map or something. Let's do 50. Let's add a Google map in here. That might be pretty cool. Like that. And let's do about 400 for the height. Come in here to style, CSS filters, and bring the saturation down to 0 so that it's just black and white. I think that better matches this theme anyways, or this landing page anyways. We'll leave the address as the Coca-Cola, you know, whatever that is. I don't know where that's at, but so we got that there. Let me go ahead and copy this, paste this right below. And what we'll do is flop these around. And let's make this one maybe like address. Okay, that's address, and let's just do, we'll use this address here. So Beth, London, SE1, 7PB, UK. And bring this typography size down to about 20, maybe like, let's do 18 actually. That looks good. Let's add some space in between the map and that text. Duplicate this 2 more times. So this next one is gonna be our phone number. So we'll do phone number. And I think maybe let's just, no, I don't want phone number. I don't like how it's like a little bit longer. Instead, let's do telephone, not elephone, telephone. There we go. And let's change this to +1, I don't know, 861-555-5555. All right, that's that. And this one will be maybe the email. Change this to info@restaurant.com. Beautiful, beautiful, wonderful. All right. So that is gonna wrap it up here for this video today, guys. Head over to elementorlibrary.com to download that landing page that we just created. And as always, if you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment on what you wanna see next.